Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ATS Gaming Tournament number 2, round 3 of the winners bracket between BN from the west coast of the United States and TCM from Sweden. TCM so far, if you have not watched their matches, I'm going to upload both of them. They've won both their matchups in the span of 27 minutes. Total, 27 minutes total. They won the first matchup in 10 minutes, second matchup in 17 minutes. So hopefully the Birds Nest can give them a bit more of a fight. And again, since the server split is different, it's US East. Hopefully it won't make too big of a difference. But TCM looking very, very strong. I have not heard of the Birds Nest. I have not heard of any of these players. But hopefully that'll be a good fight. But Birds Nest going to ban Undying. Pretty old school ban. Undying's not even that commonly picked anymore. But maybe they really want to run an aggressive challenge that does not feature Undying, and they decide to get rid of him altogether. So if that's the case, then they're going to probably pick up with their first 3 picks all components of their aggressive challenge. Meanwhile, TCM making great use of Keeper the Light. They have the first pick. They're going to leave Keeper the Light in the pool.
5 seconds remaining.
But anyways, yep, they're going to ban out the Barreter and going to give Bird's Nest a choice. Ban Keeper the Light or ban NA or ban Wisp. And TCM going to pick up Keeper the Light. It's not even going to be a question. TCM have been making great use of that Keeper the Light pick. Unless they really feel like playing NA, which they have the opportunity to. But again, this tournament brought to you by Steel Series, Complet, and Then Some Gaming has a pretty nice prize purse of 1.5k euros for a measly weekend tournament. So I don't think I'd mess around too much. Just go with what works, and Blueberry Ninja's Keeper the Light has definitely been on an utter rampage.
5 seconds remaining.
But TCM going to deliberate it, because they know if they pick up Keeper here, they're going to choose Nyx. So they're going to give Keeper to Bird's Nest, and Gyrocopter is going to be choice by Bird's Nest as well. So Bird's Nest having their lineup immediately decided. This will most likely be a mid or safe lane firing Gyro, and Keeper the Light will probably support the tri lane. They could run an aggressive Keeper the Light tri lane, but Nyx does do quite well against that because of the Spike Carapace. Nyx will most likely be played as support. He could go mid solo as well. We have been seeing a bit of a rise of mid solo Nyx assassins, but still he functions very well as a mid solo or as a support. He's a very versatile hero. And of course the Manivern and Nyx's win percentage has been absolutely ridiculous. Heroes like Barret and Magnus have been fading, but Nyx Assassin always seems to be on top of the food chain, always has around 70% win rate, especially in pro games. And he's one of those heroes who spans both scenes, very highly regarded in the Asian and the Western scene. But TCM going to take this time. Usually they like to go Keeper and Gyro themselves, so that might be having them a bit confused. But I guess the best response would be choose something like a Lifestealer and some other heroes, maybe like a Shadow Demon. But Lifestealer is one of those heroes who functions quite well against Keeper Light. I can rage through the Illuminate, can rage through the Rocket Barrage, and there goes Lifestealer right then. And they're going to choose a Rubik as well. So if they steal something like Illuminate, steal themselves something like a Call Down, that could be very useful. But so far, this is most likely going to be the try by TCM. So if I were Bird's Nest, I'd ban out mid-solo heroes, I'd ban out off-lane heroes, ban out heroes that can make a huge impact, especially mid-lane heroes, if Bird's Nest choose them mid-lane right now, but they're going to choose Bane. And so far, Bird's Nest lineup is a bit more vague. They have their double support, it won't be a support Gyrocopter. Again, support Gyrocopter has been fading out very, very hard. But most likely this will be a mid-lane Gyrocopter or a safe lane farming Gyrocopter. And Bird's Nest could potentially run an aggressive challenge like Keeper the Light Bane. That was a favorite of the old Empire a couple months ago. Bane, the Nightmare, sets up Illuminate very, very nicely. Even heroes like Lifestealer doesn't really have the time to rage dodge that in time, because Nightmare, 4-second duration, and Keeper the Light Illuminate channel, very, very short channel in the early levels.
10 seconds remaining.
But meanwhile, TCM probably, yep, they're going to ban out hard carry in the form of Phantom Lancer. Gonna get rid of that annoying Keeper the Light Phantom Lancer combination, and knows that Phantom Lancer does do very well against Lifestealer in general. But this could be an opening for TCM to pick up the Storm Spirit. Meanwhile, Bird's Nest gonna ban out the Puck. Storm Spirit, of course, seeing a huge rise in terms of popularity just because of his Infest Bomb with the Lifestealer inside of him is just so incredibly deadly to deal with that. Yeah, I mean, what more can you say? It's very, very annoying. and it pretty much insta-gives anybody, especially a squishy hero. Gyrocopter doesn't really build that tank. Keep It the Light quite squishy, and Storm Spirit one of the best heroes against Keep It the Light because Keep It the Light really just does not like having heroes up close and personal in his face. Just prefers to have them at a distance where he can channel eliminate very, very peacefully.
10 seconds remaining.
Meanwhile,
5
TCM,
seconds remaining.
are they going to continue to ban out hard carries, may force Gyrocopter in the hard carry role, and force Bird's Nest to pick a mid lane hero? I'm not too sure. But with the puck ban, I think this indicates that Gyrocopter will most likely be in the mid solo position. So I guess we'll see how TCM decides to respond. And Nyx Assassin does beat a lot of mids, but Gyrocopter is not one of them. Mana Burn does give Gyrocopter some problems, but Flat Cannon, the Rocket Barrage, keep in mind, Spike Carapace only affects one instance of damage, so Flat Cannon and Rocket Barrage will just pretty much be unhindered after that one instance is ended. But TCM going to ban out the Weaver. They've been making great use of Weaver themselves, but they really fear that Weaver to counter the Lifestealer, as Weaver is definitely one of the best heroes in the game to counter the Lifestealer. As Bird's Nest going to ban out the Nature's Prophet, fear the split pushing, and I guess they fear the teleport with the Lifestealer inside the Nature's Prophet bomb as well. Pretty much a Lifestealer with anybody in a global presence is just a very, very annoying factor that you don't really plan for in a Dota game, but it is still there. You do always have to keep that in consideration. Meanwhile, TCM taking quite a bit of time. They're not betting on mid-solo heroes, so I guess they're predicting Gyrocopter to be mid. Gyrocopter's mid. I guess the best match for Gyrocopter mid. It's a bit surprising as well to see Darkseer not make it through the pick or ban phase thus far. Bird's Nest still have an option to go Gyrocopter. Both teams can still pick up Gyrocopter, or not Gyrocopter, Darkseer, and make it work. There's no really traditional offlane hero in the pool, and I think it would fit TCM's game a bit better because he can just clear out that easy small camp quite handily. And the Flat Cannon does quite alright against Ion Shell spam, but again, with Gyrocopter's low base damage, it's not really the best mechanism to deal with the Gyrocopter Ion Shell.
5 seconds remaining.
Meanwhile, TCM thinking long and hard. They're going to choose Storm Spirit, so there's the Lifestealer bomb. And Storm Spirit versus Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter should have the advantage if Storm Spirit goes a bit too aggressive. Gyrocopter can just Rocket Barrage him and has the Flat Cannon to keep the Storm Spirit back. Meanwhile, Bird's Nest is going to immediately respond to Clockwork. This will most likely be an offlane Clockwork. As Cogs against Lifestealer, very, very annoying. The Cog pushback against melee carries extremely annoying to deal with. Cogs against a Nyx Assassin, very annoying as well because they'll drain a lot of Nyx's mana and it'll trigger the spike to Carapace, and Clockwork will just be safely in his Cogs. Although it's not really that good against Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit can't go in too aggressively, but Storm Spirit can easily zip out of the Cogs without too much of a problem. Meanwhile, TCM going to dip into a bit of their reserve time. They had their challenge, they need their offlane hero. I think Darkseer could be a strong choice right now. Also, I guess Lone Druid is a decent option. Again, the Trialing of Bird's Nest isn't really the best in terms of killing Lone Druid. Nature's Prophet has already been removed from the equation. So, yeah, they're going to choose a Bounty Hunter and really try to get the gank party going, because right now the gank heroes are quite strong. But we're going to see one of the heroes that teams have been experimenting against Lifestealer. We're going to see the Razor choice by Bird's Nest. And Razor is an interesting hero. He's only pretty much designed to counter one hero, which is the Lifestealer, because Open Wounds gets purged, or gets will slow down Lifestealer even through the Rage because of that purge buff. The Static Link will go through that Lifestealer Rage very easily, but it's going to be interesting. And also Track will get purge, or will get that purge charge as well. But Storm Spirit does not really care about the purge. He can just zip in, and no matter how fast Razor decides to build himself, the slows by Lifestealer and Storm Spirit will give him a lot of trouble. But it is still nice to see Razor have some role in competitive Dota.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
As Razor is also a pretty strong aggressive Trialing hero, so this could potentially mean that Bird's Nest are looking for a Trialing versus Trialing scenario because of that huge AoE on the plasma field doing immense amounts of damage. Look at that. Even at level 1, max damage is 160 in AoE. That is significant as heck, especially backed up by a Keeper Light spam. That is really, very strong. But Clockwork, not really, I guess, I'm not too sure what to make of this item build. He has 2 clarities. I think this will be an offlane Clockwork, because the fact that he's 2 clarity means he wants to do a lot of rocket spam. And he's saving up a bit of money, and usually in safe lane Clockwork you don't really have to save too much money. But the fact that he's saving a bit of money means that he could rush boots, he could rush bottle, or maybe even a stout shield. But I guess this will be a safe lane Razor most likely. As we'll take this time to use the players in the teams. We're going to have Blueberry Angel once again handling the Rubik. CHW is playing the Storm Spirit in the mid lane role. Quix is going to be handling the Leicester. LVZ is playing the Nyx, and Go Audio is going to be playing the Bounty Hunter. Meanwhile, on the side of BN from America, we're going to have W4 playing Gyrocopter, 604 Huyn playing the Keeper Light, Yummy Blah Blah is playing the Bane, the Big Bad Bird, what a name, playing the Razor, and Revolution is playing the Clockwork, or if this is a Nebula name, it would be Revolution, or Ion, playing the Clock. As this is a very nice tag, very nice flag. This is a pretty gangster Big Bird. What more can you say? Anyway, we'll take this time to look at the items. Gyrocopter with a Stout Shield. So I guess he anticipates... This is mostly to mitigate the overload harassment, but even then, Gyrocopter... Usually, I think a Ring of Protection would serve you a bit better, give you a bit of extra armor, and allow you to negate some of the physical harassment. So maybe this will be a safe lane Gyro. Maybe it'll be a Charm vs. Charm Gyrocopter. In a solo matchup, I don't think... the Stout Shield will really help you all too much. You know, anybody being pooled items, that is definitely the trend for Western Dota these days. Here, Light does have a Smoke Deceit, so this could be a safe trial and run with the Razor. I think that will be the case because Clockwork did pick up 2 clarities, so it won't be a Charm vs. Charm scenario. But maybe the side of TCM will have something to say about that. They could potentially match up their own trial, and Go Audio is rotating to the safe lane with Stout Shield, and they are going to send Leicester to the top lane. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit pulled a set of tangos as usual. But again, Gyrocopter, as long as he plays his cards right, should be able to win the lane, but won't really be able to kill the Storm. As there is going to be a quick check by the Nyx to see if anybody is there, but no. BN not really getting vision of that area. So, yeah, I guess the Tron's going to be switched. Nyx Assassin does have a smoke, but they have fear of the Razor Keeper the Light Tron for a good reason. With the Bane, if you get to sleep onto Leicester will just explode from the amount of magical damage in place. And Bounty Hunter are going to pick up a haste rune, going to be very, very nice, can just block off the creep can quite easily, and still making time for experience. Meanwhile, already one Sentry Ward being placed by the Dire, interesting, as this Sentry Ward will have a lot of a limited lifespan on their side, as Go Audio just a little bit too late to block out the creep spawn, which I think that was what he was trying to go for, but he will be able to get a bit of experience with that haste rune, and just some stack pulls going on by the Bane. So this Tron looking to be very, very standard at this stage. Again, Razor and Keeper Light can't really kill the Bounty Hunter, but they can do a heck ton of damage. And if Bounty Hunter ever positions himself wrongly in the lane, he's going to be in for a miserable time. But as is, Bounty Hunter just going to hide himself very cleverly, maybe anticipating the fact that Keeper Light is going to do a lot of stacking and just going to sap so much experience. And again, the goal of Bounty Hunter in any game is just to hit that level 6. And meanwhile, Clockwork going to be dove upon on that bottom lane. They already used the open wounds, but here comes the Impale. It is in the picture as the telekinesis. It looks like it was used already as well. And Lifestealer gonna bend that chase. And actually, that's not too bad for the Clockwork, because while Lifestealer was doing harassment, that means the Creepy Gloom has been pushed. And so Clockwork will have a bit more of an easier time in terms of getting experience. So far, both the offlane heroes getting a bit more experience, as both teams calling the lag. But, you know, it's a part of Dota. It's a part of online tournaments. You sort of have to expect that at this stage.
I thank you.
Thank you for not hitting me. Some pleasantries being exchanged on the middle lane. But as is, Keeper of the Light already used his Illuminate, can channel another one, and meanwhile Leicester does pick off the Clockwork. I gotta say, my observing in this tournament has been really, really bad so far, missing kills all over the map. But as it is, first blood going to Leicester. Clockwork is level 3, so he's not doing too badly. Leicester on the other hand is 4. We'll see what he goes for, if he goes for Midas Rush or if he goes for Phase Drums. As does he really need to chase this game? Yeah, I think it would be pretty good to chase down somebody like a Gyrocopter or a Razor. That could be pretty useful. Or even just to escape the static link movement speed will be very useful. But so far, Leicester just holding on to a lot of his gold, not really indicating what he's going for just yet. Meanwhile, surprisingly enough, Gyrocopter is being bullied out. I think the Stout Shield not really helping Gyrocopter too much, but also the fact that Storm Spirit was pooled additional regen is going to help him out quite a bit, because he has easy access to the bottle, and you can just get that overload spam going very, very nicely. As are we going to see rotation in by the supports? No, they're just going to pull in. Actually, they're going to smoke up, and no Dire Wards are in place to scout this up. As there's going to be a rotation on the side of Big Bad Bird, as they're going to steal all of Leicester there. It's going to save the Clockwork, and now Quick's going to be allowed to. Quicks will most certainly die. The question is, can they pick up another kill? No, the smoke was scattered out. Oh, here comes the Telekinesis Impale. A bit of miss chain stuns. Could be the delay, but they should pick up the kill nonetheless. Taking a bit more damage than otherwise was necessary, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. Even though they sacrificed Leicester, the fact that Leicester got first blood and the fact that Storm Spirit will hit a fast solo 6, I think it is overall a better scenario for the side of the Radiant. Meanwhile, the Challenge has been switched up. I guess they want to have Clockwork have some sort of mid-game impact. I don't know why they switched it up. I really don't. Because they were doing quite fine. They're shutting down the bounty hunter. Clockwork was getting experience, which is what he wants. And Razor and Keeper of the Light were free farming. I don't understand the switch for the Challenge whatsoever. I guess they just really want to pressure the Lifestealer. And that could be an option, but at this stage, Lifestealer already level 5. We'll have a second point into Rage. We'll be able to have 3 seconds of magical immunity. And should be okay. And Leicester already has a phase boots up as well. Gonna go for the chasing build, as was previously mentioned. Meanwhile, Clockwork, it's not like he's gonna fare that well against a Bounty Hunter, as they're both level 4. Bounty Hunter is out of mana, but that Janata harassment is gonna be so crucial. As the free extra damage with the mana stacks gonna be very, very useful. As the pull is going down, Fable is gonna come in. And the supports on the side of the Dire are going to get scared away. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter going to bottle himself, or get himself an invisibility rune. Still no bottle, as I guess it's on the Courier. No, just a boost of speed to escape the wrath of the Storm Spirit. But here comes the pause once again, as TCM kind of paused the game. Probably experiencing a bit of lag. Again, they're from Sweden. They're playing on US East. But still, can't really. Gotta expect that in online tournaments. Can never make lag the reasons for your defeat. But so far, Gyrocopter level 4 against an almost level 6 Storm Spirit. At the very least, Gyrocopter will hit level 5. Faster than Storm Spirit will hit level 6, so that's something. So Storm Spirit starts his dive. The Rocket Barrage can come in place and do a lot. Somebody got a phone call from Mom. But yeah, Leicester should go for the drums. Razor gonna go for drums himself. Has Triangle Boots. Usually, no, I think Triangle is a good choice in this game because Razor, Face Boots Razor is really, really strong. Gives you a lot of damage, gives you a lot more chasing power, but he needs some regen, especially in a Challenge vs. Challenge matchup. Meanwhile, Keep Light still is holding on to the smoke. Only has 2 points in the Chakra Magic, so level 1 Illuminate does still do 200 damage, but Bane has level 2 Brain Sap. They still should be able to burst down support very easily. The question is, how much damage do they have after that fact? And the answer is, I'm not too sure. Especially if something like the Spike Carapace gets the reflection on the Illuminate, or even the first instance of the stat of the Plasma Field, that will be a lot of damage thrown out in the way of the Razor. But meanwhile, this is the ATS Gaming Tournament number 2 brought to you by SteelSeries Complet and myself, bball773 on YouTube and on Twitch. Please follow me there. But yeah, I should be able to bring you all this weekend's matchups. Thanks for tuning in. I know there's a lot of intense matches going on this weekend, but I really appreciate you guys sticking in, helping to support some of the smaller tournaments. As that's some of the best ways newer teams can really come to shine and really prove themselves. But anyway, Clockwork has itself in stash, but the Courier, it's going to be a long ways away, so Clockwork going to have to stay the heck back. No points to the Rocket. Interesting build. Maybe that's why he switched up the lanes. As Rocket Spam would get him a little bit more farm out and push the wave. But still, no points to the Rockets. You gotta think 1 point in the Rocket is necessary. But a second point in the Cogs, not too sure what the reasoning behind a second point in the Cogs is completely. As it does do a lot of drain, we'll push the Bounty Hunter back, but the damage increase, it's already significant enough at level 1. It's not like, you know, that 40 extra damage will really make that much of a difference. Meanwhile, the extra damage on the Rocket, 80 damage, would be pretty significant in my opinion.
Glorious thanks.
Once Storm Spirit hits that level 6, he'll be able to go on that ganking spree as Leicester able to clean up that kill. Razor is going to cast the Plasma Field, but again, that Spike Carapace inflicting or reducing 1 point of that damage, but still, Razor looks like he managed to drain a lot of that damage from Static Link and was able to pick up a double kill. Meanwhile, Leicester was forced to back off. How much damage did Leicester got? 105 damage stolen from him. That is a huge amount. And yeah, it's talking about Clockwork, his skill build. No points in the Rockets, as I think I accidentally muted my mic for a second. But no points in Rockets. A little bit questionable, because 40 points and 1 extra duration of the cog. Not really that significant. Meanwhile, 80 points of damage on level 1 of Rocket. Pretty significant. But so far, Bounty Hunter getting very close to level 6. Now, no, got the 3rd point of cogs. This is a weird build if I've ever seen one. It's pretty much known that cog is probably Clock's most useful spell these days, but still, Rocket is a close second. Actually, all of Clock spells are useful. It's just the damage that's really lacking.
Regeneration.
As I guess there was a bit of Twitch TV downtime. There's a lot of lag going on. Not too sure. Shouldn't be on my end. But as it is, level 7 up on CHW. Storm gonna start his dive right now. Before Gyrocopter hits level 6, Rocket Barrage is gonna negate a lot of Storm's chasing potential. And now we see why Gyrocopter does do quite well against Storm. As Battery Salt's gonna drive away the Bounty Hunter. Where do you get the mana from? I guess he was always holding on to a lot of mana. But meanwhile, I guess this rotation is working out. The Trial and Switch is certainly helping out the side of the Dire quite a bit. Definitely stop Lifesteal's farm in its place, because as soon as Lifesteal approaches, he's going to have all his damage drained by the Razor. Keep in mind, 50 mana cost and a decent amount of range on that Static Link will just give Lifesteal absolute fits. So it's going to be up to Storm Spirit to really change the dynamics of his bottom lane, because ever since the lane has switched, it's definitely in the favor of the Dire. As Plasma Field doing a lot of damage to the Lifesteal as well. And this is pretty much a standard Razor build. Like, your ultimate is actually really bad at level 1. And pretty much it's known by most people, Razor's ultimate is really just not that good. It's not very reliable. We're going to see a teleport in by Go Audio. As here comes Static Link onto the Lifesteal. Can they get the track kill? He's draining so much damage. Lifesteal actually hitting for absolutely nothing, but the Infest is enough. As here comes the Flat Hand call down. Go Audio barely able to escape. They are able to clean up the Nyx Assassin, as it's going to be a 1-for-1. Both teams rotated. I think if Storm Spirit rotated, that might have been better, but they had no teleport scroll on CHW. Let's see if he's getting one shipped towards him. It is, with the treads, and he's able to do a lot of damage to that metal tower. As we want Bane able to pick up a kill on Go Audio, but still Lifesteal is back, and now he has all his damage. Will pick off the retreating Keeper of the Light. And so far, even exchange once again. Storm Spirit does pick up a double damage rune with a bottle. He's gonna try to go on the Gyrocopter. And no wards means that Gyrocopter has no idea which rune's in place, and actually that he doesn't even know if he went bottom or top. And this should be a very easy kill for CHW. Gonna get the pull as well as the Remnant, and the double damage rune will easily clean up the kill. As a little bit of mistake on the Dire.
And I'm not feeling very merciful today.
That was a very long soliloquy by Storm Spirit, as Fiendscript's going to be channeling Quicks. He is most certainly going to die. No Infest up. The Plasma Field and the Static Link doing so much damage. Razor able to pick up another kill. And the Magic Wand is in place. Razor has so much damage at this stage in the game. As 150 damage, definitely nothing to mess with. And just look at the range, as that was a max damage Plasma Field. That pretty much hit for the entire 370 damage. But yeah, a little bit of mistake on the Dire, not keeping up rune wards. So now Gyrocopter is essentially playing in the dark. A bit of mistake as Cog's going down on the top lane. And Storm Spirit is going to make his way to a very fast Orchid, or try and do that. Allows him to be a bit more aggressive, but usually when you get off to such a good start, I think Bloodstone would help you out a bit more. But this will allow you to be a lot more aggressive, silence, and immediately take out somebody from the picture. As Infest on to go audio, Leicester, the bomb, you can execute in so many fashions, and Clockwork will end up dying. Gonna get a nice two-man hook as Razor has now decided to join the party. The question is, can Leicester actually escape? Has a phase boots as well as 5 sticks or 5 charges on that magic stick. Is gonna have to use one, but still not enough. He is gonna pay the price for his ganking attempt. Leicester for Clockwork definitely in the Dire favor, but he did force a multiple amount of teleports as Go Audio will be able to escape. I think they got a track kill, and they should have gotten a track kill. So overall, that did favor the rate, and they got a tower kill to boot. Meanwhile, in Storm's Fairyland, working his way towards the Orchid. And some dewarding going down by Blueberry Ninja. Is level 6, so can have that access into Spell Steal. If you manage to steal something like a Illuminate, a Call Down, that'll be all very, very useful spells to steal. Even if there's no game-breaking spells like a Tidehunter Ravage or Brewmaster Ultimate, you know, all these spells are pretty useful. And it would be pretty funny to see Razor steal so much damage and then Rubik just steal it all back. Gonna see Kara Rubik in play. Meanwhile, Clock able to kick off the bounty on her. Didn't even use the hook. Honestly, did not expect that to happen. No Sentry Order Dust in place. I guess just a rocket clean up the kill. But meanwhile, there is going to die by CHW onto Revolution. And Revolution is going to pay the price for that kill attempt, as the Cogs still super annoying. Still seems bugged as he ran out pretty much through the middle. But still got burst down for a bit of damage. But as it is, Razor finished the drums, and Lifesteal on the other hand being kept down quite hard. Actually, with the track kills, he's getting a bit more gold than he otherwise would have, as he is being kept down in terms of CS, but the tower kill and the track kills definitely help him out quite a bit. Goldgrass slightly in favor of the rate, mostly because of the tower, but the track kills is definitely playing a part. Experience slightly in favor of the Dire, so overall pretty even game. But against the Storm Spirit Lifesteal, you definitely want to have all the map control and all the towers you can teleport to. As Razor might find himself a bit out of position, there is going to be a ball attempt by the Storm Spirit. There is a bounty hunter with the Lifesteal inside of him. They got the track going on him, and there goes the pop, goes the Lifestealer. They are picking off the Razor, and the Cogs unfortunately unable to trap anybody on the side of TCM, as that was another track kill onto a Razor. Very nicely done by TCM. As you can see, the power of Storm Spirit with the track is just giving them so much gold. And he is very, very close to his Orchid already. You know, keep it light, trying to find some farm, trying to find his way towards a Mechanism Bane. As Fiendscript, as overall the level seems to be quite in favor, but Go Audio with the help of Nyx, the Invisibros strike back. As Bounty and Nyx definitely some of the strongest ganking heroes in the game. But overall, the experience advantage on the sports, very, very nice lead for the side of BN. But experience advantage actually slightly in favor of the Reign, so the fact that the sports getting so much experience is quite good for BN, but still, the fact that heroes like Storm, Bounty Hunter, and Lifestealer are getting more experience overall might be a bit troubling. as Storm Spirit almost at that second Oblivion Staff. And there is going to be a smoke attempt on the side of the Dire. They are looking to find Blueberry Ninja, as he is the person who is closest to their sights. As there is a Radiant Sentry Ward in place, it is going to spot the movement. The question is, do Blueberry Ninja see it? He was not looking at the map. Unfortunately for him, no, I guess he senses something's up. Yeah, he's going to back off to the tower, as I guess Sentry Ward did spot out the movement, and Blueberry Ninja going to waste all 5 of the Dire's teams, or a lot of time on the side of the Dire, as all 5 heroes commit to that gank. And now the smoke has been revealed. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit just going to take this down to 4 relatively easily. Razor has the gem, but there is going to be a hook attempt on Storm Spirit. Going to channel the Fiend Script as well. They are going to fish on Storm Spirit. That is a huge kill, as he was making his way towards the Orchid very quickly. And shutting the Storm Spirit for 40 seconds is just 40 seconds where he can pretty much go unhindered on a ganking parade.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But in the meantime, the Dire did lose their tier 1 tower top, and they're going to devote all 5 heroes mid. I don't think Blueberry Ninja can kill this tower, but the double damage up on Razor means that this middle tower will most certainly die. He has the drums up as well as going for the Yasha, so going for a lot of move speed right now. Meanwhile, teleport back by Keep It Light. They're trying to defend their tier 2. They should be able to defend it, as they do have the glyph in place. They are going to defend it without even using the glyph, just going to teleport back. Meanwhile, Clockwork trying to find an avenue to initiate. We'll have the hook up in about 10 seconds, but Lifesteal just going to teleport out of there quite easily. And that gem on the Razor means that you can't run, NA. You can't hide. As Hook comes in, nicely latches onto the NA, as the right clicks by Razor, easily able to pick up the kill. But in the meantime, another tower being taken. Nice rotation by both teams, as best way to counteract a ganking lineup, as he's going to use a lot of lightning spells to get more overload charges to clear out the creep waves. But the best way to counteract a ganking lineup is stay as 5, but the best way to counteract a lineup that's staying as 5 is just to push down towers and exploit their lack of map control. So far this is a really interesting game. Gold advantage in favor of the Radiant, experience advantage in favor of the Radiant as well. As so far the Dire have played the past 3 minutes always as 5, and that's definitely hurting their experience intake by quite a bit. Meanwhile, Go Audio has Medallion gonna finish that Vlad's very soon. Gonna spy a Keep It Light with his little eye. And that one Janata hit did half his HP. I think NA got a bit of that track kill as well, as Razor does have that. Nope, just gonna use a Fiend's Grip. But still, a 1-for-1 engagement will always save the bounty hunter because he gets that track kill gold. Actually, it looks like NA did not pick up that track kill, so maybe bounty hunter actually lost. No, he picked up the Ring of Regen, so still a nice exchange for the Radiant nonetheless. As Hook goes down onto the NA, this Clockwork, they didn't even have a ward in place, but still they watched the rotation and they are going to clean up the NA very easily. Brain Sap even being used to secure the kill despite cooldown already in place. So already this game is going past TCM's longest game of 17 minutes. So we'll see how TCM responds to adversity in the mid to late stages of the game.
Let the fun begin.
But Go Audio will have the Vlads up very soon. Armlet has been finished on the Lifesteal. Orchid should be finished very soon on the side of the Storm. We'll have it up and out 150 gold. As Lifesteal are going to retreat. This ward is being dewarded, as this gem is definitely paying for itself, picking off heroes like the Bounty Hunter and the Nyx and getting the map control back into somewhat of BN's favor, despite them being an additional 2 towers behind. And there's going to be initiation. Blueberry Ninja going to get caught out once again, as the Clockwork with the cogs easily able to pick up the kill. No, the Mud Golem, Stone Golems, yes, denies himself. As, keep in mind, the heroes still get gold and a bit of experience, but they don't get the last hit. As Storm Spirit able to clean up the Keep It Light, no track kill necessary, or no track kill in place. Now, I've not looked at Gyrocopter's farm in quite a bit. He is suffering very, very hard. Razor still not made too much impression, so far, you know, this strategy is preventing the side of BN from getting picked off. But still, they're losing out a lot of experience and a lot of farm time while doing this. But I think they should be able to push down this bomb tier 1 tower. It is at very low HP. I don't think TCM are even bother going to defend it. It's at such low HP that it shouldn't even matter. Leicester, what items he going to go for? How's the armlet? Desolator? Could be an option. Not too sure. But Gaudio just going to split push with this Vlad's, and Bane picks up a very fast dagger. That will give them another source of initiation to combine with that clockwork. If he misses the hook, have Bane to blink in and follow up immediately. And it looks like the Dire are going to try pushing for a tier 2, but they're going to lose a tier 2 on the top lane themselves. And might even have their tier 3 pressured a bit, as the Infest Bomb is going to come into play once again. Luna is going to fly, and Bounty is deciding to join the party. So it's going to be a 5-on-5 team fight. Who has the advantage? Which team has a mecha up? It looks like no team has a mecha up. But the fact that the tier 3 is in danger of being pressured a little bit by the Siege Wagon is going to force the TB back by the side of BN. Meanwhile, both teams trying to get some map control. I imagine both teams thinking of going for Roshan very, very soon. Especially with Medallion up on the bounty, means that the rain can clear it very, very effortlessly. But both teams not able to find an opening. Again, Dire always sticking as 5 means that the rain really don't have an opening. But Storm Spirit, one of those heroes who can really create an opening by himself, just on the fact that he's just so intense. If he sees anybody by themselves, especially with the Lifesteal bomb inside him, it will just be currents for that hero. Gold Graph, Experience Graph still in favor of the Radiant by a decent amount. Gold Permit, Nax is ahead, but actually Razor has the highest net worth in the game. As Lifesteal is suffering a lot. I guess he has a man on the Courier. It is going to be double Mithril Hammers, as Bounty Hunter going to pick up a Mithril Hammer as well. He's going to try to go towards a BKB, I imagine. And Leicester, on the other hand, going to go for that Desolator as Dire. I don't think they actually have enough damage to kill Roshan. They have Rocket Barrage, but that's pretty much it. Razor actually doesn't do too much damage without Link. Actually, his damage output is very, very sad. But still, BN playing very, very smart. Never going to give Bounty Hunter, the Nyx Assassin, or Storm Spirit any openings to get the ganks. And in terms of team fight, they have a Bane, and they have a Gyrocopter. They can definitely do a lot of damage, but again, I don't know how easily they can actually kill this Roshan. They have the mechanism up. They are going to be forced to use it very soon. And in fact, I think they realize they actually don't do much damage. Razor really needs to get a Link going in order to do any damage. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit just zipping very merrily across the battlefield. I wonder what he's going to go for, as Bane is pretty much the ultimate anti-BKB hero. I think Linkets could be a strong option for Storm Spirit in this game. Or, yeah, because there's also Static Link, even though you can zip away from that. Storm Spirit might find himself in for a Rude Awakening. Actually, he's just going to ball out and TP away from any sorts of engagements, and this is going to allow BN to try to push down the top tower. And keep in mind, no heroes are in place to counter push, but actually a pretty significant creep wave is on the bottom lane with the Meat Wagon, and they are going to be forced to defend with the Gyrocopter as he's trying to make his way towards something, trying to go for a BKB himself. Nothing on the side of TCM goes through BKB aside from the right click damage, which is still significant, especially with Leicester having a Desolator up. Meanwhile, smoke attempt on the side of the Dire. They're going to try to get the attempt, and the Ward would have spotted him out, but again, smoke does not reveal map icons as they're going to go immediately ice the gyrocopter before he even stood a chance. Bane's going to teleport in one by one. The teleports means that BN are going to get picked off one by one. One track kill already picked off. They could very well pick up a second. They're going to pick up a second as that smoke gank. Easily able to pick up the kills. Keep in mind there was a sentry and an observer in place, but the fact of the matter is that because they were smoked means that the mini-map icons were not revealed, as Leicester are going to take a lot of damage from the tower, going to force the armor toggle, but this is going to allow a track impale, allow a lot of damage onto Big Bad Bird. Big Bad Bird not looking so big and bad at now, as Nyx Assassin is going to pay for it with his life. This tower should be denied. It will be denied successfully. It's going to be a 3-for-1 engagement, but 2 of those 3 kills were track kills, so TCM definitely coming out ahead by a large amount in that engagement. Meanwhile, Clock going for the Aghanims. The ability to get that lower cooldown on the hook is very, very useful, especially for people who like to run away, like the Bounty, like the Storm. That shorter cooldown is going to be quite significant, as what will Leicester go for now? AC could be a viable option. Heart, I think, might be very much necessary. Also, Basher. Lock the Razor in place and make sure you can't really utilize that stone damage is also a viable option. You know, Bounty getting very close to his BKB. Drums almost up on the Nyx. BKB almost up on the Storm. And about 1900 gold. Wow, that up as there's going to be a Blink Bomb. But that might have been a trap. Bane immediately. Oh man, just the output of damage. That was a trap, as all 5 heroes on the Dart were still there. But just the amount of damage that was pumped out on the side of the Dart was just too much, as Leicester trying to juke in. But Razor stole so much damage. Pretty much means he can go unhindered throughout this team fight. Gonna get another kill on the Nyx. One more kill on the Rubik will pick him off. Double kill on the Razor. It's gonna be a 2-for-3. Triple kill being picked up on the Razor, definitely favoring the Dire in this exchange. And now, go audio. No, say it ain't so. Will die as well, as this gem is just doing so much work. An ultra kill being picked up by the Razor, as that Static Link stole 194 and then followed by 200 damage. But going to be a buyback for the Leicester. They are going to pick up the Razor, going to get that huge streak, and more importantly, going to kill the gem. That gem was just giving the Rain absolute fits. But still, nice play by the Razor in that exchange. But look at the track kills. This is all in the back of the track and the towers. As tower count, the Dire are behind by 2.5 because 1 tower was denied. But the track kills is just so significant at this stage. And despite Razor picking up an ultra kill, you know, he is a Razor. The question is, what should he go for? As does he have anything on the courier? Not so much. Has the ultimate orb in the Met style in the base, so I guess he fears having the courier being sniped out. Just gonna have it when he respawns in case somebody else wants to use the courier. But Met style gonna be quite useful. Gonna give them an ability to debuff that silence on the Storm.
Over here now.
But meanwhile, that buyback on Leicester definitely going to set him back quite a bit. I think he was trying to work his way towards a Basher, but that is going to be denied to him for quite a bit. Meanwhile, the Dire, what do they got? Gyrocopter, still no BKB. This Gyrocopter pretty much being a non-factor in this game. Unfortunately for him, as he got shut down by the roaming gank parties of the Nyx and the Bounty very early on, and it's never really seemed to make a recovery. Keeper Light has finished the mechanism, but still 9 HP this Bane. Blink Dagger, but not really able to find too many openings, as this Clockwork, that illusion, never know what hit him. Meanwhile, Dire trying to kit the Roshan. Again, Razor was able to accumulate 20 extra damage without the link. And the Radiant, they do not know that this is going on, as Missile will fly in. I think they suspect something's up, as they do not see any Dire heroes on the map, so they're like, okay, they're either smoked up or they're trying to kill down Roshan, as now we're going to see a slow rotation in. This Roshan should go down in favor of the Dire. They're going to take a lot of damage. They do still have the mechanism to be popped. As no, Radiant actually do not suspect a thing. As this will be an easy Aegis for the Razor. Or for the Gyrocopter. It is going to be the Gyrocopter. Razor is at this point maxed out in terms of item slots. As he picks up another gem. I guess it was given to him by support. But meanwhile, Keep Light is going to get picked off. The Clockwork Hook not in time. The Haste Rune means that Storm Spirit can make a speedy departure. You know, Razor trying to continue to farm. Trying to go for a heart, it looks like, has a VIP booster. You know, CHW should have his BKB up, but does have it up. Life Stealer.
Here I am.
Gonna have something delivered to him on the courier. It is gonna be Perseverance. Is he going Lincolns? Ah, he's going Lincolns. This is clever. This is clever. Because he has to worry about the Bane as well as the Razor, because two of their spells do go through that BKB, but if you can get rid of one of them, it means that he can either outrun the Link, or he can just sort of tank the grip, because Razor's not doing any of his damage. So nice choice to go for Lincolns, but still he's about 1500 gold away. He's not going to pick it up in the next, until about 4 minutes later. But so far both teams playing very, very calm, as the graph has plateaued out a little bit at around 12k. Experience advantage still heftily in favor of the Radiant, as this tier 1 will mostly get pushed. I don't think the Radiant will actually defend this against an Aegis, and the fact that this tower is very low. They will probably defend this tier 2, but they are going to try to mount a counter push going on this middle tier 2, try to take down the last outer tower. But this tier 1 will just die so fast. And the question is, are the Radiant willing to part with 2 towers? It looks like they are. But I think the Dire can clear out this tier 2, unless the Glyph is forced, because this tower is still at full HP. The Desolator, of course, will do a lot of work. This is going to force the teleport back, but the Gyrocopter will use that cooldown, I imagine. As Dire or Radiant a bit confused how to respond to this. They are going to clean up this tower, and they are going to try to defend their tier 2, as there's going to be a teleport back. Radiant, or the Clockwork, is in play. Razor is going to get isolated. If he loses the gem again, that means the gem will be on cooldown for so long. That is such bad news for the Dire, as now Clockwork is going to get pursued, going to get tracked, will get picked off. They should have just all teleported out together. They shouldn't have risked the Keeper of the Light recall. And that is going to be denied, and that is just another kick in the teeth for the Dire. They lost 2 heroes, they lost their tier 2, and got their tier 2 that they're focusing denied. And on top of that, the most important thing is they lost control of the gem, because now it's going to be on cooldown. Yep, for the next 5.5 minutes. And that is going to be so crucial. They're going to have to buy sentry wards, and at this point, I think their supports really need items. They can't really afford to buy too many sentries. Gyrocopter will have the BKB up, but still, I don't know. It's not looking that good for the Dire at this stage in the game. They still do have the Aegis up. That's something. How long do they have left on the Aegis? They still have 3 minutes. They really need to make this Aegis count. But it's so hard engaging into the Radiant, because if one person's out of position, that hero will actually just pop like a balloon. With the Life Stealer, with the Bounty Hunter, with the Storm Spirit, just completely picking them off. It is just easy pickings, as Storm Spirit saving up a lot of gold. And Rubik, was that a BKB I saw? No, that's a mechanism. Bounty Hunter has a BKB. And Nyx is not doing too bad himself. As interesting, they're just gonna destroy the gems, it looks like, or they leave it on the courier. Who has a gem? No, I guess they just killed the gems. So they don't even care about dewarding. They just want to make sure if they ever lose a team fight that the Dire never get the gems up, because they know gem is such a crucial item in this game. But Razor is starting to actually pick up some right-click damage without the use of Link. Gonna pick up the Chrysalis. Won't actually crit too much. Probably crit for around 200 damage at this stage without the Link. But if he manages to crit with the Link up, it's going to be scary how much damage he does. No, I guess the Dire managed to recover 1 gem because it's up on the Gyrocopter. Maybe they had 1 gem in base and bought another gem anyway. Not too sure how they got this gem, because they didn't get any kills. But they have a gem. That's all that matters. Meanwhile, the Dire or the Radiant gonna approach into the jungle menacingly. The Dire or the Radiant very hesitant to push in with the Aegis online. But Lincoln's has been finished on Lifestealer. And Bloodstone will be the next time for Storm Spirit. Is gonna have that up eventually. And again, Radiant gonna try to, or Dire trying to make something happen. Try to initiate with a smoke gank. We'll be able to catch off the Nyx. Nyx gonna Vendetta away. Blink Dire Bane. I think they're out of range of the smoke, but they are gonna find Go Audio. Not too sure how he escaped. As Clockwork Hook gonna go down. Is gonna miss. Oh, Spike Carapace on the Bane. That's what canceled it. I forgot. And that's a stun.
Incoming.
Or the Shuriken Toss. Either way, there was a couple mechanisms in place to cancel Fiend's Grip. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Light. A bit too far from home, my friend.
Blown away.
Meanwhile, Rubik stole the cogs. Gonna clear out the cogs. And is able to escape. Nicely done as Storm Spirit approaching very menacingly. This could be the opportunity for the Radiant to strike as they're going to initiate on the Clockwork. The cogs putting in work as Lifesteal is inside. The Bounty Hunter track is going down. Bounty Hunter is not the best target infest, but it's definitely not the worst. As Kidwise is still out of the picture for the next 15 seconds, this is a prime opportunity for the Radiant to push in. The question is, can they make anything happen with this? As Go Audio gonna get tracked once, or gonna get the track off once again. They're not gonna push in, as Aegis is timed out. But still, I think they saw the Keeper Light respawning, and they're ready as it didn't push in, understandably. But checking out the experience in Gold Graph, it's getting even more and more lopsided. Experience graph actually heavily in favor of the Radiant at this stage. Checking out the levels, the supports and the Clockwork on the side of the Dire are suffering tremendously. 3 heroes above level 16, meanwhile only 1 hero above level 16, and level 3 Razor Ultimate, to be frank, is not that good, because Razor Ultimate in general is not that good. As they spy a Nyx, but Gyro is the one with the gem. They lost sight of him. Meanwhile, last hits and denies. Lifesteal is on top of the food chain, as is Storm Spirit. Meanwhile, GPM, Lifesteal and Storm Spirit still ahead. Razor has not even cracked 400 GPM at this stage. So the cards are all on the side of TCM. The question is, when do they want to actually make something happen? They're playing it patient. They're playing it smart. I guess they're just waiting for one more item. They're still far away from the AC, so they're obviously not... I mean, if they wait for an AC, then they're giving the Dire way too many options. Because keep in mind, at this stage, Gyrocopter is not doing anything. And if you give the Gyrocopter too much time, he will eventually do something. As he's making his way towards the Yasha, so I don't think you can wait for the AC if they're Radiant. Are they waiting for the Bloodstone on the Storm? It is finished. I think now is the time for the Radiant to strike back. Maybe they should wait for buyback on the Storm or the Lifestealer, but they can't wait for another huge item. Because, again, Gyrocopter is one of those heroes who will, no matter how hard he's kept down, will find a way to do a lot of damage in the late stages of the game if he's left alone. But the Radiant, I guess they're waiting for the next Roshan to respawn. Bounty Hunter working his way towards an MKB. That is going to be brutal, as that will give him so much damage to work with. Meanwhile, Clock still denied his access to Aghanims for now. We'll have it up in about 300 gold, but still, how much will Aghanims actually do in this game? As I feel like Clockwork is just dying a lot. At this game, I mean, you can't really blame the Clock player, because that's just what Clock does. He doesn't get out to a fantastic start. He just doesn't really contribute that much in the late stages of the game. But meanwhile, Razor, I think if I were the Razor, I would try to... I mean, Feast does get negated. I'd try to make my way towards a heart. Daedalus, you're still relying on the Link quite a bit for your damage. The crits at this stage you do without the Link would pretty much be like 400. But right now he's definitely saving for buyback. Meanwhile, Storm with Lifesteal inside him. Gonna use that stack remnant to give him a bit of vision. As Roshan just now respawned. But the Dire Ward does see all. Blue Ray Ninja, no wards on him. Is going to pick up the wards as well as a Force Staff, so he's going to ward it up. But the Dire are going to see this, but now Razor is spotted out. And this was a cleverly orchestrated bait as CHW going to get pummeled as Leicester is going to pop out, going to do a lot of damage. At least he's not getting linked, is what he's saying. As the spell that was stolen was the Illuminate, I think. As meanwhile, the Radiant are going to use their massive gold advantage just to pick apart the Dire. That was not the worst engagement for the Dire, as Razor's going to buy back. But still, I think the item differential is just too tremendous. As here comes an open wounds. If Razor dies right now, this will be all but over for the Dire, as he already uses buyback. He's trying to do whatever he can to help save his Gyrocopter, but he is going to pay for it with his life. Razor's out of the picture for the next 70 seconds. As circles being drawn all over the map by the Razor. Clearly frustrated on how the teamfight went, because that was not a bad teamfight for the Radiant. They killed the Storm Spirit immediately, even though the Link did not get dropped on the Lifesteal, because Lifesteal was inside the Storm Spirit for a lot of the duration. But just the item differential on heroes like the Lifesteal Desolator, the Hyperstone, and the reinforcements on the Radiant were just too good. As Storm Spirit picks up the Aegis, he'll be very happy. And now here comes the push. As two lanes are being pushed at the same time, they're going to have to defend the top lane with the clock. Razor will be able to respawn. As Storm Spirit, looking for a rune, I guess, will pick up the haste rune. And we'll be much better off for it. But Illuminate going to be dodged. Nightmare is actually going to be transferred onto the Bounty Hunter as they're going to look to peek off Revolution. Revolution is going to get killed as here comes a call down. CHW going to pop the BKB, going to try to man up as he does not have the haste rune anymore because it was dispelled by the BKB. And he is just going to tank the Scene Script saying, I have the Aegis, you can do whatever you want. Have your way with me, please. But now he's got to ball out right now. We'll do so successfully as Rain's still going to push in. This is as good a shot as they're ever going to get. Clockwork is down, but the Illuminate just proving to be so annoying. It looks like the Rain going to try to get some split push going, as the lack of pipe actually hurting the Rain quite a bit. They are not able to sustain all of this Illuminate damage as Storm Spirit forced to ball out, losing a lot of mana in the process with the mana leak. Not at the same time as the ball, of course, but still, in general. As Dire are going to defend. Dire are going to defend. AC has been fished on Quicks though, and that could give them an added extra boost in terms of taking down the buildings. Glyph is still up on the side of Dire. Really impressed on how they're defending it so far. And the unfortunate thing for Radiation is that, or for the Radiant, is that they're only relying on Storm for the initiation. If the Storm can't really get a good zip going, then Radiant are unable to get a really strong engagement going for them. And pushing into Kato, of course, a nightmare, but they might have just juked the call for a bit because they faked pushed mid and now pushing top, and now they have access into the high ground. This allows Go charging with the BKB up. Here comes Storm with the lifesteal inside him. Gonna go to work on Bane. Bane is silenced, all the while Bane should be the first one to die. Meanwhile, Blade Mail is pop. Razor does pick off Rubik as he's doing so much of Lifesteal's damage. Lifesteal might very well die just to the fact of the Razor, as this base will get defended. And Storm Spirit out of mana. The Dire gonna hold on. The only sole survivor is a Nyx. As what went wrong in that fight? The fact that Leicester had all his damage stolen. That's what went wrong. What more can you say? I want to take a look at this golden experience graph. It was at around 25k, 30k experience. Keep in mind the graphs pop or cap at around 35k, so this was reaching the max of the graph's capability. But I expect this graph to dip very, very sharply downward very, very soon, as that was a huge momentum swing for the Dire. They're still very much behind, but they must be feeling a lot more comfortable, because now Gyrocopter again will actually start doing some reasonable physical DPS. Razor. It's hard to choose a target when there's a Bane on the other side. You always want to focus on the Bane, the Coddle, but I think you might have to try to focus on the Razor because he's just dealing way too much damage. As the tier 3 tower is almost dead. The glyph was not even forced, so the Dire have that going for them as well. BKB will be the next time for Bane. If Bane finishes the BKB, that means he can channel the Fiend's Grip pretty much at will, unless Rubik steals the Fiend's Grip. But meanwhile, TCM must be feeling a bit confused. We have so much item advantage and experience advantage. How do we actually lose that fight? As there's going to be a smoke attempt to buy TCM. But the Bird's Nest not going to be fooled. They stayed as 5 the whole game. What makes you think they're not going to stay as 5 for now? As Storm Spirit really needs a Hex. I think once they get a Hex up on Storm Spirit and Hex the Razor, they can really try to end this game. But until then, I'm not too sure if they can. Meanwhile, Lister just pushing in. Ray might be feeling a bit impatient, saying, okay, Gyrocopter Razor are getting pretty farmed. Bane is getting close to his BKB, but they gotta remain patient. They gotta wait for this Hex up on the Storm. Although I'm not too sure what Storm's actually doing. Maybe he's sensing a smoke gank? He's trying to give vision? But he wasted like a good minute just sitting where he could be farming his Hex, farming buyback and Hex, farming anything, but essentially just wasted his time. But he is gonna pull this camp. Gonna work on his Hex. Meanwhile, Razor just sitting pretty with that gem in his back pocket for quite a bit. As Storm's not even gonna clear that camp. And honestly, not too sure what CHW is doing at this point. He's obviously very fearful of a smoke gank. But he has buyback. He should just pretty much farm at will. I don't know. Not too sure. Storm is wasting a lot of farming time. And now, it's still hugely in favor of the Radiant. But if I were the Radiant, I wouldn't wait too much longer. Gyrocopter getting quite fearsome. Still has 8 seconds on his BKB. Razor has gold and buyback. If he manages to pick up another huge item, he picks up a heart. That would just be so difficult. Without a Hex, you pretty much can't kill him. But no, they're going to charge in without the Hex up on Storm Spirit. I'm not understanding this move completely. Because Roshan won't spawn for another 4.5 minutes. But meanwhile, the Dire getting into defensive postures. Ghost Scepter up on the Keeper. They really need to kill the Razor. Razor needs a primary part. You need to kill the Bane and then the Razor. That's pretty much it. Gyrocopter, you can ignore him for a lot of the fight. He does a lot of damage, but still, if Razor manages to steal all of Leicester's damage, then Leicester is pretty much completely negated, which is not something you want to have happen if you're a lifestealer. I think Storm finally starting to realize, okay, I might need the Hex. As he's farming his jungle pretty much freely. But if he just, you know, farmed his jungle normally, he would have had the Hex up by now. And the Dire showing no inklings of ever leaving their base. They're saying, we don't want to take the fight against you, because you can isolate our heroes and pick them off one by one. We want to fight you where you're clumped up, which is our base. So both teams very hesitant to go on the offensive. But Storm Spirit definitely benefiting from this. Gonna have his Hex up. The question is he gonna save for Hex and buyback? As he only has 4 charges, and this is quite a long respawn time on the Storm Spirit. So might be wise for him to save back. No, it looks like he's going all out, gonna pick up the Hex right now. This could be an indication that they're realizing, okay, Gyro,
Double damage.
we'll leave it to you. But so far, Rain are vastly outfarming the Dire. They're farming, well, they're not even farming the Dire jungle too much, but they're farming their own jungle, while Dire are only farming the lanes. But both teams playing very hesitant. Blink Dire up on the Nyx. This could give them another form of initiation that they've been desperately lacking. And this is another way to deal with the Bane. I think this Blink Dire actually a bit more significant than the Hex at this point, as both teams are going to wear out the Roshan. Meanwhile, the Rocket's going to fly and going to scout out the vision. It is going to see the Storm Spirit with the finished Hex. But the Dire honestly can't really push out against this lineup. Rain are predicting some sort of push in or some sort of fight happening, or maybe some wards happening in the Roshan very soon. I don't know. My thoughts are becoming a bit jumbled this game. Starting to wear on me as huge lag spike on my end. What's going on? Alright, looks like nothing happened during that lag spike. Not too sure what was happening, but both teams were dancing back and forth. CHW constantly getting visions with the remnants, allowing Leicester and Bounty to pick up the Aegis. This is Aegis and Cheese as well. So Aegis probably going, or Cheese, no, Aegis probably going on Leicester, so going to respond with full damage. Cheese probably going on Storm, but Storm does not care, going to silence up the clock. Clock not that important of a target. And Storm uses BKB, but it is going to drive the Dire from trying to take this Roshan fight, although Dire trying to get in position. Dire will be able to clean up this Aegis. Storm Spirit picks up the Aegis. I would have thought Lifestealer, because, you know, even if he uses Cheese, if all his damage is drained, then he'll still be bone in terms of damage output. As I think they're just going to wait for the BKB to go back up on Storm and then try to end this game. As it is, Gyrocopter has buyback and some extra. Razor buyback and some extra, as well as these gold. They have not been making too much progression in terms of gold. They're giving the majority of the farm to the Gyrocopter, who definitely needs it, but still. The fact that they're only farming lanes is definitely not helping them out. And Gyro picks up the Rapier. Let's go. Unprotected Rapier with the BKB. 1400 HP. I guess that's why they gave the farm to the Gyrocopter. The question is, I don't know if the Radiant saw the Rapier. I don't think they've seen it yet. And Radiant just gonna wait around. Maybe waiting for buyback? They have buyback on Storm, buyback on Lifestealer. Are they waiting for another item on the Lifestealer? He's pretty much maxed out at this stage. He could sell the phase, go for travels, but he still has no item slots. I think travels into Heart is going to be his next option, but that's still going to be very, very far away. As you can see, the Dire is so very hesitant to reveal the fact that they have a Rapier on their side. And Gyro going to pump out 468 damage per hit, basically, to everybody on the side of the Rain, and that's going to give the Ray another target to bring down. Going to have to bring down Razor, Bane, and the frickin' Gyro. But they have Aegis and Cheese. Now's as good time as ever. They're going to soak that Eliminate, and they're going to charge in with the Mechanism. A little bit of premature mech, as the creep wave was not actually damaged. Rocket is going to fly in. Here comes the Infest onto the Storm Spirit. The tower is going to die. Not using the glyph just yet. They're just going to zip out and just take that tower with ease. Maybe wait for the Mechanism back up. But so far, this is a very tense scenario as the track goes down. Gyrocopter still not revealing himself.
And it's up.
I don't know if they've seen the Rapier yet. But right now the Radiant are definitely waiting for the mechanism to be back up before they decide any more pushes, as the rockets and the Illuminates constantly flying in. A bit of a cheeky maneuver by the Nyx. But at this point, Kyle, relatively tanky, can tank that Illuminate with relative ease as track goes down. If they saw the gyro, if they clicked the gyrocopter there, they would have seen the Rapier. But again, that was just an instant where he revealed himself. As Keeper of the Light is too annoying. Just too annoying, guys. And they want to initiate. The Rain are feeling impatient. They want to initiate. But no openings being provided to them by the Dire whatsoever. The Dire just playing this smart. Very smart. As Razor finishes the Daedalus, he doesn't have buyback. Of course, the Radiant probably don't know he doesn't have buyback. They probably suspect, you know, they've been in their base for the past 30 years. He should have buyback at this stage. But as it is, both teams playing super calm. I just want to take a look at the golden experience graphs. Yes, still spiking in favor of the Rain, because Rain are only, or Dire only farming lanes. Meanwhile, Rain can farm jungles, lanes, anything that they want. As now split push is going, they're trying to distract the Keeper of the Light, trying to say you can't eliminate everything, but not only is there Keeper of the Light, there's also Clockwork and Razor. Razor has a long range on his AoE spell. And Storm Spirit just going to push bot with the Life Stealer inside of him. And Rain can't wait too much. They're actually going to lose Aegis. They're going to lose Aegis. Wow. They got to make something happen soon. Or maybe they're just going to wait out the Aegis and get another tier 4 item up on the Storm. Shivas. But this game, very tense. This is still the winner's bracket. Keep in mind this is a double elimination bracket, so both teams still have an option, but both teams clearly not willing to lose.
Incoming.
As CHW clearing out siege wagons. But yeah, game is devolved into push and get stopped. If Bane finishes the BKB, oh, does he have the BKB? Is it on the courier? No, he's still lacking the Mithril Hammer. I thought he had the Mithril Hammer. No, he's just the Ogre Club. Oh, Bane has just picked up no gold at all. They can actually farm the BKB. That is a bit unfortunate for the Bane. Meanwhile, Rubik, Ghost Scepter, same items. Storm, same items. Lifestealer, same items. Bounty Hunter, or Nyx, same items. Bounty Hunter. Heart and Heart. That's pretty good. That's some items. That's an item progression. You know, Gyrocopter, Vip Booster, nicely purchased. Razor, Daedalus, and now if he picks up a kill, he should have enough for buyback. As no, he has actually no reliable gold whatsoever, so we'll lose quite a bit. Yeah, Razor actually does not have buyback. As smoke attempt by the Dire, they are getting a lot of cabin fever, as they want to make something happen clearly. And as it is, Rain shouldn't have any idea that this is coming, because the Dire just sat back in their base, but Rain are just farming the wrong sides of the map at this point. As Lifestealer Infest, you know, you'd figure the Lifestealer would want to get some farm himself, but he's just, you know, down to chill with Storm. As Blinking by Bane wasn't scouted out by the Radiant, I don't think. As, no, now they know. I don't know how they know, but they know. I guess Nyx just caught a glimpse. And this game will continue to go on. If every game like this is in a tournament, I'm going to need a co-caster like nobody's business. But yeah, I mean, what more do you want me to say? Oh, there is actually a bigger cap experience graph at 40k levels. Yeah, Dire still have a lot of rooms to level out. Last hits in Radiant favor. Net worth in Rain favor, GPM, Radiant favor, buyback, nobody's favor. Everything is in Rain's favor except for the freaking rapier. And Gyrocopter has definitely revealed the fact that he has a rapier. But are they really going to wait out the next Roshan? Are they going to stack cheeses? Are they going to stack cheeses?
Where's the party?
So yeah, this is round 3 of the winners bracket of the ATS Gaming Tournament number 2. I'm Bbon. Check me out, Bbon773, everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Shouts to Steel Series and Complet for putting on this nice bit of prize money. And although there are a lot of good tournaments happening this weekend, thanks for tuning in to watch this small tournament, because small tournaments are what allows the new teams to break into the scene.
Invisibility.
Not gonna lie, this game getting mad boring. If Gyro manages to finish his Satanic, then that's actually in Dire's favor. As he picks up an Ultimate Orb, gonna go for the Manta style. And Radiant, I think they're sensing the fact they're losing a bit of map control, but I don't think they're gonna push in. They're just gonna farm up and try to get Roshan again. What else would you do? As Storm bought something. What did you buy, Storm? What did you buy? Age is timed out. You bought Lincoln's. Lincoln's pretty good against Bane. And Mana Leak.
Here I am.
Nyx, have you bought anything? Nyx just holding onto the cheese. Bounty just doing whatever. Travels. And Roshan's gonna respawn in about 30 seconds. As Dire really want this. They want this extra security on the Gyrocopter, because they know at this point if they lose the Aegis, or lose the Rapier, they lose. Period. But if they manage to get an Aegis up on them, they prolong the game. And have the potential to win it. As smoke attempt by the side of the Radiant. And that ward definitely did not scout out the smoke attempt. But still, Dire, you know, might change what works. Just gonna sit in base. I think what Radiant are trying to do is force a buyback. Even if they die, they all have buyback on their side. Yeah, they all have buyback on their side, except for the bounty. So they might just try suicide, try to get the buyback, and then take the Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese. But no, why give away your buyback against a Rapier? As Roshan just respawned. And now Dire's hand might be forced. The Clock Rock. Gonna fly in. Radiant just baiting out this team fight. As this ward was dewarded. Is there a gem up finally on the side of the Radiant? Yep, they have the next gem. And Dire very hesitant to go in because they know there's a Rapier, and Gyrocopter can pretty much hit anybody when it's a small enclosed space like the Roshan pit. But the top lane's getting pushed in. If I were Bounty, I'd just, you know, say, go top, try to get a teleport back. But no. Yeah, it's so difficult for the Dire. They really want to defend top, but still want to defend Roshan. But if they go away as one, then they open themselves up to being engaged upon. So that is going to force Razor to retreat. And that is going to allow Roshan to be taken by the Radiant. The question is, can they take it very fast? Vlad's going to come in. Leicester going to pop out as he was inside the Storm Sphere for the past 80 minutes. So you have more than enough time. And the Roshan dies in literally about 2 hits. Blue Ranger pick up the cheese. And now the question is for the Radiant, are they going to do anything? As who picked up the Aegis? Bounty picked up the Aegis. And KV Heart, definitely pretty good. Bounty definitely crits for quite a bit at this stage. And, you know, it's another target that you have to link, or you have to grip, or you have to rocket. But still, Radiant, yeah, they're going to push in. They're going to split push mid and try to force Keeper of the Light's hand. But the Dire Ward was spotted. as both teams playing super lame.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
You know, I'd expect at this point the experience graph would start favoring the... No, I guess they only have 2 level 25s. I was about to say the experience graph might actually favor the Dire at this point, but there's going to be Vendetta, Nightmare by the Bane. They're going to go in against the Coddle. Fiend Script going down into the Storm. Lifesteer does pick up the Gyrocopter, and that means the Rapier has been dropped. Nyx picks up the Rapier, and all that waiting... I am face-palming. All of that waiting for a fight that lasted all of 3 seconds. No, Razor doing work. Razor was doing work. Past tense. And then Razor got worked. But finally, the first barracks have been claimed by the Radiant. As literally 20 minutes of inaction. That is a big-ass chicken. And that is going to be game. Because Razor lost the buyback, and GG, well played. As that was well played. I mean, why risk anything? To play to win. But both teams never really made a mistake. Unfortunately, I guess the lineup that TCM had, the ganking lineup, just made it so that BN could never really leave the base except as 5, and they got outfarmed and out-experienced. And that's what cost them. But yes, that is in fact going to be the last game of the night. Thanks for sticking in with me, guys. Please support me, youtube.com/bvon773, twitch.tv/bvon773, and TCM. Take it in a 65-minute fest. But this is ATS Gaming Tournament number 2. That was round 3 of the winners bracket. And shout out to Steel Series and Complet for putting on this tournament. And yeah, please follow me. But as it is, I'm going to take a break, much needed. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the G League. I will be on after the G League. But yeah, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Peace.